let's see here. I think this is gonna be filming, so in case this makes a video, the very first 2 minutes are always just me typing and such. So let me see if I can go ahead and get the stream opened up. And there we go. No need to adjust the title or anything. I think it's okay. Wow. Nobody yet, huh? One person. It might just be my wife, but we'll see. 4 people. Okay, that jumped quick. How's it going, everybody? I'm back again with another live stream. Once again, I'll be playing some guitar, but I gotta put some super glue on my fingertips because my calluses are gone. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I gotta put some super glue on my fingertips. It's gonna be a very boring part of the stream, and I can still answer questions and stuff, but the super glue is like amazing, but it takes a very long time to dry, and there's no way that I can play guitar without having super glue on my fingers right now. I've been working too much, and I don't have any calluses anymore. Please forget the fact that I'm chugging a Mountain Dew. Needless to say, I was running a little bit late with this stream. I've been planning on doing it at 1 o'clock for a while, but I haven't gotten to, I just shoved down a Hot Pocket 2 minutes ago, and I'm trying to actually be scheduled with streams from now on instead of just spontaneously popping up with them in the middle of the day. So I posted about it on my channel and on Facebook and stuff like that. So good to see you. We are at 8 people now. I'm assuming one of them is my wife, and I already hit 10. So off to a good start. I will break out the guitar again in a moment. It's right here on the ground. Josh, what am I vaping on? Got a shameless plug here. Is that inverted on there? No, just on my phone. Island Man by One Hit Wonder. Holy shit, started uploading again. Technically, I haven't actually started uploading again yet. I'm gonna make my first new video tonight. My wife and I are gonna do a video. Excuse me, that's what I get for chugging a Mountain Dew. My wife and I are gonna make a video tonight on how we met, actually, because that seems to be a very popular question, is how we met. So we're gonna pop down in the share right now, and I can give you a hint that this shirt is pretty relevant, but that's probably gonna seem confusing at this point. Sorry for ripping the vape, staring at the phone. But that was not pleasing to the eye. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and assume that my, so being a joke for so long, how did you manage to rebound financially? To be honest with you, the main part of that is the fact that the judge for this violation in particular sentenced me to a year in prison followed by 6 months in the halfway house. And the halfway house gave me the opportunity to, you know, I had to stay there at night. And I pretty much couldn't really do much except for work, but I was allowed to work. And they make you open up a bank account and you give them a cut of your check, but it's a lot better than prison, and it also allows you to kind of get on your feet a little bit. So I've got a small chunk in savings. Not as much as I should have because I was completely addicted to ordering pizza from Domino's, but it helps me save up money. Another thing about it is that right now, I don't particularly have to spend a lot of money just yet. I mean, we're at the verge of it right now. I'm living with my in-laws. Karis and I, my wife and I, are waiting on our apartment to open up in probably, hopefully about like a week or two, at which point it will be a lot more expensive to just survive, obviously. But at this point, I'm okay. I'm just trying to save up as much as I can because we got a baby on the way due May 11th. And obviously life costs money, so. Good grief, man, that reflection on my glasses. Maybe I should turn the brightness down on my stand. Look like a X-Man or something. Domino's does smack. What was your go-to pie? Everybody thinks mine is weird, man, but I like thin crust. They had a coupon deal on the Domino's app. It was thin crust, and I would get sausage, mushroom, and bell peppers or black olives, depending on what kind of mood I was in. I know that probably sounds really gross because my wife is always like, ugh, that's disgusting. Why would you do that? But yeah, that was my go-to. And they had a deal with it for like 20 bucks. You could get that, a 2-liter and a 16-piece or 8-piece bread, like the cinnamon bread. I'm sick of that cinnamon bread, bro. I'm not gonna eat the cinnamon bread anymore. I've had entirely too much cinnamon bread. Now I'm gonna start the gradual process of applying this super glue to my fingers so we can play guitar. We'll see how it goes. This stuff takes a really long time to dry, so my father-in-law, let me get some. 3 Spooky 5 me, what's up? Spooky, let's see. Hey, League of Kumdi, good to see you again. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Kumdi, I guess. Good to see you again. I saw you a few streams ago. Have I ever played Black Desert online? No, I have not played Black Desert. I'm not totally positive what that is. Um, but I'm gonna hazard a guess and say it's probably an online game. But no, I haven't played it, man. I've been the only like totally new game that I think I've played so far since I got out has been Overwatch, which I am absolutely horrible at. It's very hard for me to keep up when I don't know everybody's abilities and stuff. Misha Gillum, what's up? I went to high school with her. How you doing, Misha? I've known her since like 3rd grade. I'm gonna guess that you saw either my Instagram or Facebook post because I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that I went to school with here. But good to see you here, Misha. What's going on? Really fun MMO. If you're into RuneScape, you should like it. I don't know, man. I've heard that a lot about a lot of games. If you like RuneScape, you'll love this. And then I try them, and I'm like, I don't know. It ain't Scape. Facebook. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming in, Misha. I don't have no idea how much this is going to be popping off here soon, but normally the streams get pretty good. In case anybody's wondering what I'm doing, I'm currently applying super glue to my fingertips so I can play guitar. Because my calluses have like totally disappeared. I've been working too much. Lamisha, I wouldn't be surprised if the people that see it on Facebook come in here and dislike it. We have somebody in the chat that can confirm that I was a little bit unhinged whenever I was in high school. I was definitely a big jerk, so they might see it and just come in here to hate, but hey, they don't know that people change, I guess, if they come in here and hate on me for some stuff I did 10 years ago, you know? I admit I was a little bit of a jerk. Not to Lamisha, me and Misha always got along really good, but I'm glad I posted it on my Facebook. I haven't done that before. And here comes the fun part where I gotta sit here for 10 minutes waiting on the super glue to dry, and then I can break out the guitar and we'll play some sweet Smoke on the Water, guys. That'll be plenty of fun. There we go. I wonder how many of my in-laws are in here right now. Some of my wife's here. Probably her mom. I'm not sure. I picked my calluses off and now shredding hurts. Why would you do that, man? Good grief. I'm just gonna be sitting here looking like I'm asking a question for like 10 minutes now. Like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what for? What for? I just got super glue drying on my fingertips. So, can you see it? Yep. Stay away from the devil's lettuce, says Burnt Popcorn. Will do. RJ says, now that I've graduated, I can't get a job. I've dwindled my savings to survive, and now I own next to nothing. Well, damn, man. Obviously, I mean, it's tough, man, but I'm not really I don't personally know any personal advice for that, honestly, because I've been in the Who Scout for so damn long, but can't get a job. I mean, hey, man, you might want to lower the standards. There's always going to be some place. You might be flipping burgers and doing something that you don't really enjoy, but there's always going to be something. I've been lucky. I got helped with the job that I have now, but I mean, in general, I've had no problem getting hired. And technically, I'm a domestic terrorist. You know, on paper, I'm considered a domestic terrorist for my charge. Misha says, that's funny, LOL. We're all unhinged. It happens to the best of us. I wish you well on your future endeavors, buddy. Well, I appreciate it, Misha. It was really cool to see you pop in. It's been damn near a decade now, so appreciate it. Kelly Bennett says the Manosaurus spots a predator. I already know who that is. What's up, Kelly? How you doing? He says, I'm finally easing back into social media. He goes down without a fight. Nobody in here is going to get the Manosaurus. That was an old inside joke. You can't even see my desk. The Manosaurus spots a predator. That's a friend of mine that I grew up with right there. Quite obviously. Ratungo says buying girlfriend. Okay, that's random. Kelly, I'm pretty sure that nobody here will get the Manosaurus reference, but it's very good to see you pop in. Welcome back, says Diddy I'm assuming that you played Escape. Thank you, man. I'm very, very glad to be home. Please forgive me for a moment while I imbibe some nicotine here. I need to start leaning on the screen when I do that. Representing the Union Jack, very nice. Yes, this ties into a video that I'm going to film tonight that I'm doing with my wife that I should post, I guess, maybe the wee hours or tomorrow, you know. RJ says, I hope there's not any THC in that vape. I assure you there's not. It is neither the black market THC vapes that got people sick, nor is it something that can send me back to prison. Kelly says, I miss you so much. Well, I'm sorry that went away, but I am back. I'm staying with my in-laws now, Kelly, in Myrtle, which is like population, this family. I'm just kidding y'all if y'all are watching. I'm just goofing around, but I'm sure that sometime in the near future we'll be trekking to Oxford, based on the assumption she still lived there. I haven't been on social media like at all since I got out this time. I'm kind of easing back into it, but really right now I'm just doing posts that pertain to like YouTube and stuff. It's such a gray area as far as POs go and, you know, the legal system. that I don't want to do anything that could potentially get me in trouble. And even just like talking to certain people, POs can trip about it and stuff like that. What is the nature of your work, if you don't mind me asking? I'm actually a old style. What's the name of the island? Not Pomeranian. I do Samoan style hammer tattoos. No, I'm just kidding, man. I cut wood at Ashley Furniture. I'm just a furniture out. You go to prison again if you smoke weed. I just got out of prison for the second time because I smoked weed. Yes, got out and I was on probation. I smoked some pot like a moron. I knew the consequences and they sent me straight back to the Hooskow. The judge that hated my guts got me in front of him again. And so he gave me a year in prison followed by 6 months mandatory halfway house. So basically a 1.5 year long sentence for smoking some pot. A really good friend of mine went on the run from his PO, shot a bunch of meth, got caught with needles, and stopped answering the phone when the feds called. And that same judge gave him 6 months and said that he was being harsh on him. he was like doing a bunch of drugs and totally stopped showing up to his PO and stuff. And that judge was like, I've got to teach you a lesson here, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you 6 months. But I go in there for smoking pot, and he gave me a year followed by 6 mandatory months at halfway house. But luckily my wife, wrote it out with me, so we got to know each other very, very well, like on a mental level, soul to soul, because I lost visitation privileges very shortly after I got there over something completely ignorant. But hey, it was my path, man. If that wouldn't happen, then I would not have the level of trust that I have for my wife, you know what I mean? Don't they spray on synthetic weed onto paper to get into jail? How is that? Yeah, they call it K2, or Tucci is the slang. When I first got locked up, or I guess when I first got to prison, I'd already been locked up for a 1.5 years by the time I left jail and got to prison. They only had the green kind, like the potpourri type synthetic stuff. When the paper started coming in, it was extremely weak. At that point in my sentence, I enjoyed it myself at that point. And let's see. Gradually, they got stronger and stronger. I went from them having pieces of paper like this big to like this big, and then it got to the point where pieces of paper this big were making guys like fall out and have seizures and start screaming and beating their head on the floor and stuff. And the only way to bring them back was to like throw ice water on them. It was crazy. Especially because a lot of times people are screaming for like no reason in prison. I mean, I guess they have a reason, but they can't convey it or something like that. But yeah, that stuff is crazy, man. It's like super, super strong, and it's definitely a neural inhibitor because dudes start drooling on themselves and start like cramping up, and like it's just totally ridiculous. And I personally, I would imagine that in like 10 or 15 years, there's probably going to be an epidemic of brain cancer and stuff like that from people smoking that stuff, because we have no clue what it does, but it does get you extremely high, I can tell you that much. Can't vote? Yeah, it is definitely sad. RJ says, Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous. It's definitely ridiculous. What'd you go to jail for the first time? I'm new here. I was playing the online video game RuneScape back in 2012. I was drunk, and there was an argument about a video game pertaining to a school shooting. And because I was drunk, and because it was the internet, because I was trolling, because it was a video game where your chat disappears in 10 seconds, and because I had a fake name and it was just to piss the guy off, I said I loved it. I loved that particular incident that happened, and I wanted to do one myself. I had aspirations of it. This is in 2012. The atmosphere is a little different. Sorry for the mullet, guys. I know I need a haircut. And 4 days later, the SWAT team, the bomb squad showed up. I had no weapons in my home. The date that I said as a joke was a Saturday. I had a bunch of mental evaluations that all said I wouldn't do it. Teachers from Oxford High School, where I attended, actually wrote me character reference letters. But I was charged with domestic terrorism, you know. You should try Kratom if you're still on parole. I don't really have any interest in getting high or drunk anymore, man. I actually celebrated 1 year of stone cold sobriety yesterday. January 17th is 365 days, so now I'm on day 366. I'm not really counting, but I noticed the days this time, you know. Let's see here. Missed some chat. Kelly says I live in Olive Branch. Hello, don't worry. I know we'll link up again one day, man. Keep doing so great. I'm so proud of you. Well, thank you, Kelly. I'm doing very, very well. I finally got married. I finally settled down. I quit doing drugs and quit, you know, having a lot of girlfriends and all that ignorant stuff, you know. I don't pick fights with people for no reason anymore. Just finally chilled out, you know. But it is really, I'm glad that you're here. You know, it's really great to see you. You have a great voice, man. Would you ever consider a collab with any artist? I mean, like speaking voice, because I'm not a good singer. I mean, yeah, I would collab with pretty much whoever, man, as long as we have the means to do so. You know what I mean? Did Yo Cheeks get clapped in prison? No. I did not go to a place where they were raping people, or if they did, I guess I didn't ever hear about it. I'm probably going to be demonetized so hard for the stuff that I'm talking about already, but it's whatever. Is it hard to sleep in prison? In the medium securities, I didn't really have much problem with it, to be honest with you. At the medium high security ones that I went to on my first sentence, it was okay because they roll the bar, which means at night you and your cellmate, or if you just got there, two cellmates, which, oh my God, a 3-man cell that's designed for 2 people is hell to live in. But they lock you in at night behind like a 6-inch steel door, you know? And they make jokes and say, we're trying to keep them people out from getting you. And they're talking about like society or whatever. But at the low security, I had a ton of trouble sleeping. I'm already an insomniac. I haven't slept much my whole life. But at the low security, I mean, it's like 150 guys in a room, and there's schizophrenic people walking around, you know, spazzing out, thinking everybody's out to get them, and there's drug addicts coming around trying to steal stuff out of people's cubicle whenever they're not looking, and like, good grief, man. Totally crazy. So at the low security, I definitely had a lot more trouble sleeping. It's really anxiety. I mean, it'll drive you insane, dude. Sleeping in a room with 150 criminals. I'm sorry to say criminals, man, but it is what it is. Especially because of the mental illness. Mental illness is rampant in prison. I mean, just like I'd say, like 10% or higher of inmates have a mental illness to some degree, and some of them are worse than others. I mean, I've seen dudes that are making animal noises all the time, and you know, they just got that crazy look all the time. They're just like all the time. What's going on? What's going on? You plotting on me? You'll be over there talking about the weather, and these schizophrenic dudes will come up behind the wall, like, yeah. So yeah, it was definitely kind of nerve wracking trying to sleep in that situation, to say the least. Let's see. Very not cool, Jesus. Yeah, Evan, that was a little disrespectful, but I mean, people joke. I went to prison for joking. Who am I? Who am I to say that, you know, I can't get salty about a joke? Somebody getting salty about a joke is why I'm even here streaming right now one time. So. Yeah, especially knowing you're in there for smoking weed. I mean, I knew the rules when I got out, man. I knew it was up to me to follow the rules and not smoke weed. But, you know, I did it. I took the risk. I regret it. In a way, I regret it, but really, I needed that one to get my life together because I was doing a lot more than just smoking pot, and something had to give. I had not learned my lesson fully the first time around. As far as getting my life together, I'm not gonna say I didn't learn my lesson about making stupid threats because the threat was never even an issue in my mind. That was just something ignorant that I did. You know, it was just trolling. I've said worse than that on the game, but I definitely had a real wake up call this time. Having my wife, then fiance, stand by my side. You know, I built so much trust with her that I really don't think I could have done any other way. I always would have wondered, had I gone back, would she have messed around on me? And I'm just 100% confident in her, and we have a beautiful relationship. So, all right, let me see here. How long did I get, Dan? I got sentenced to 6 years the first time, 72 months. I served 1,795 days, which is 30 days shy of 5 years before I was released to a halfway house the first time. Second time I did 364 days and then 6 months halfway house. So I've done a total of, including the halfway house, like almost 7 years, including rehab as well. They sent me to rehab, even though I was didn't get caught doing anything when I started my probation last time. Obviously, it didn't work. You've been in prison for nearly a decade. You probably have more money than me, man. I don't even own a laptop or PC, and look at the setup you have. I just have to say that my in-laws are amazing people, and they bought me most of this stuff as Christmas presents over the last 2 years. I didn't earn this myself. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and pretend like I did, man. I did not do some amazing stuff and save up and scrap for this, man. My in-laws sprung really hard to make sure that I had what I needed to keep doing YouTube and stuff and Twitch streaming, etc. You know that Nick gets you clouded? Not sure what that means, but yeah, bro. What was my lawyer's defense? I mean, my lawyer was pretty much trying to downplay this side of it that downplay, or I guess no, he tried to emphasize the fact that this was an online video game. They actually asked me to like legally define trolling, which I said was saying random things to upset people. If I'd have thought about it for 2 seconds, I'd have been like, it's essentially like almost like a prank of sorts, you know. But he was just kind of trying to say it was an online video game, and I mean, look, I'll tell you this much, man. Even if he's watching, it's no big deal or whatever, but my lawyer was not really trying that hard to help me, man. I mean, it was pretty obvious from the jump that the judge had his mind made up. There was some backdoor stuff going on, you know, and some stuff that I don't fully understand. There was a lot of ulterior motive, and I don't know. I mean, he did all the paperwork, he did the things necessary, but there were so many points that I wanted him to raise that he didn't. But I think honestly that he knew it was pointless. He knew that the judge had his mind made up, and that was about it. You know, he knew that I was gonna fry. He knew that judge was about to send me away. He sent me to the slammer. He gave me my guideline recommended sentence for my crime was 18 to 24 months. 24 months maximum recommended sentence, not statutory. I mean, he can give you higher than that. He gave me 72. I mean, he tripled it. He tripled the high end So that's a little bit crazy, you know. Have you watched 60 Days In? I've seen 1 or 2 episodes. Good? All good? Anybody? Hello? Yeah? Alright, cool, cool. Sorry, guys. The internet gets a little shaky here sometimes. Let's see. Alright, let me scroll back up, guys. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of these. 60 Days In, yeah. I think that one where the guy was going to become a CO was probably not the best idea because he's probably going to remember the guys that were like, didn't let him use the bathroom and stuff and be hella cruel. But, let's see, I have a question. Do you have people that will just scream out of nowhere, just throw with their own poop? Oh, yeah, dude, absolutely. Yeah, they're really crazy guys. I mean, especially in the shoe, the lockdown, the punishment bay where you just like got a celly and you're in a very small room, you know? Yeah, lots of people smear the poop on the windows or on their face and stuff like that, or throw it under the doors. Lots of people stand there and pull their hair and scream all day until their voice just like sounds like it's bleeding, you know? But yeah, that's fairly common. It's one of the mental illness aspects that I was talking about earlier. Still get mad when I think about the fact they didn't call me or Schmeigs up as character witnesses, but they questioned your exes. Oh, moving on, do a favor, do the wood thing. I don't even think I can do it anymore. Whoa, whoa. That's what I was like in the feds or in the room, you know? Like, whoa, what's going on here? Sorry, yeah, that's a friend of mine that I grew up with. I've known her since I was like 9 years old. Let's see here. Yeah, they weren't trying to hear the other side of the story, Kelly. You saw that. I mean, that the mental evaluation, they subpoenaed the doctor that did my mental evaluation. She gave a wonderful testimony about me and said that I didn't fit the bill and that I was a nice guy, helped the other lower functioning inmates on the crazy ward where they sent me for my evaluation. There were actually illiterate people there, and I used to help them type their emails to their family, you know. But I mean, they weren't trying to hear any of that. They were seeing what they wanted to see. They were making an example out of me. You know, they had to prove the government doesn't make mistakes, is what they were doing. Instead of saying we checked it out, we looked at his house, everything's fine. They just did that. Let's see, TNT PKer, ha ha ha. That was kind of mean, man. What you laughing at? Dalton says, how long were you in jail the first time? I was in for just shy of 5 years, just a little bit shy of 5 years in prison, and then a couple of months in the halfway house and house arrest, and then I got sent to rehab, and then I was out with no ankle bracelet, just doing regular probation for like 40 days, and I went right back to jail. So, not very good. Have I ever dropped acid in my earlier years? Yes, I've taken copious amounts of lysergic acid, diethylmide number 25. That is no longer something I feel is necessary for me. I used to get a lot of spiritual fulfillment out of it, and now I get it elsewhere. But yes, I have definitely taken a whole lot of psychedelics, not just acid, but all various sorts, a whole lot. Copious amounts, to be honest with you. The summer leading up to my arrest, I was just I was fried like every other day because you know you can't do it 2 days in a row. Do people laugh when you told them while you're in prison did they know RuneScape? I think I met 2 people the whole time that were in RuneScape that knew about RuneScape. I'm sorry I'm so behind on the chat, guys. I need to quit giving these long-winded explanations. I met 2 people, I think, the whole time. And I only play old school, all the way, Fish. Only old school. You guys are more than welcome to add me. It's the space RS space felon. Of course, the RuneScape felon. Let's see here. Let's see. In-laws always sound like great people there. Oh no, it looks like we're losing the stream again. Uh-oh. Did we lose it? Did we lose it? Are we good? I think we're good. Everything froze up for a second. And now I don't think I'm getting the chat in right now. Okay, let's see. Alright, good, good, good. Thanks for letting me know, y'all. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Cool, cool. Let's see. You watch UFC, Josh? Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone? No, I haven't kept up with it in a long time. I used to be really into it. To be honest with you, dude, I couldn't give a shit less if I ever see another fight again as long as I live. I'm so sick of fighting and being in fights and watching other people fight and dodging fights. Like, even if it's just for entertainment value, bro, to be honest with you, I just don't even care anymore. I hope McGregor wins, though. I'll tell you that. Sorry for being edgy or whatever. I'm going to get a first dislike on the video now. But I like McGregor. I used to love McGregor back in the day, man. It's just like, I don't care to watch people fight anymore, man. I've seen enough of that. I'm done with it as far as I'm concerned. But good luck, McGregor. Acid is so dumb, it literally just tweaks you out. Mushrooms are a better vibe. You've never done acid, you're not missing out. Nothing enlightening. Mushrooms always made me more hippie-ish, I will say that much, but I think that if you're familiar with mushrooms, and acid can be very, very powerful as well, and will be very enlightening. In fact, more so, in my opinion, than mushrooms. Not for everybody, obviously, but I agree. Mushrooms make me more hippie out, more like, oh man, look at that tree. What if that tree could tell me a story? Whereas acid's more of like a one with everything kind of thing. But I don't seek that anymore, man. I don't really need that to any extent like I once did. What's the best for you, man? Thank you, JR. We on the same t-shirt? Which one? This one, the Union Jack? Let's see. All right, now I'm trying to catch up. Do you feel like you fell victim to the American prison industrial complex? To a certain extent, yeah, man. When we have a serious, like, private, for-profit prison situation here, you know, and I think that was reflected in my case, and also just them trying to make an example out of me. You know, I can't remember who it was, but one of the founding fathers said something to the effect of he hoped that after America becoming its own country, he hoped that every 50 to 70 years or something like that, he hoped that there would be some type of a revolution, or else the government would become overzealous and over prosecutorial. It's been 200 something years and we haven't had a revolution. Look at this. I mean, federal prison population's at over 150% capacity right now for the bed space. So, what do you know? Working corrections, been working max custody with the SMI for 5 years. One of the inmates in my pod played RuneScape. Ooh, man, you work a dangerous job, bro. Max security, good grief. That's funny. I wonder what he did to go to prison. Not a lot of RuneScape players out there committing straight felonies, you know. Let's see. What happened to you is fucking crazy, man. Yes, definitely. So I hope you're doing well. Ooh, I just skipped all the way to the bottom. Hope you're doing well now, brother. Whole thing was blown way out of proportion. Wish you all the best, buddy. Thank you, Jad Georges. Hadordes. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So DMT, dimethyltryptamine. No, totally unfamiliar with it. You should have after the Preacher Show. Yeah, I don't really know how to get in touch with him, but I do believe that would be a cool collab. I'm going on 23&1 soon. We just emailed a little bit earlier today, and I'm really looking forward to that. That guy seems very knowledgeable as well. All right, I'm catching up now. Yo, what juice is that? It is Island Man by One Hit Wonder. It's like fruit punch with kiwi and pineapple or something. Let's see. I gotta go, baby. Needs to be fake. Congrats on you like church. Can't wait to see you, meet your new wife and family. Much love. See you later, Kelly. I really appreciate you stopping by. If you go anywhere on Earth, where would you go? Damn, that's a good question, man. I haven't been asked something like that. Maybe Japan, probably like Tokyo or something. I'm not a weeb or anything, but I do like Asian culture. I think Japan would be really fire. But anyways, that or like Sweden. I mean, there's a lot of places, man. DMT. Do you have any mods? Are you talking about vape mods? Is that what you're referring to? Because I don't know what those are. Did you have a pen pal? I mean, I had people that I emailed the first time around. The second time I really just emailed my wife and my mother-in-law and some of my family members. But no, I didn't like really have a pen pal. I had a girl that I kind of flirted with during my first sentence that we emailed a lot and acted like we wanted to be together. But in reality, neither one of us really actually wanted to be together. We were just kind of lonely, but I wouldn't say a pen pal, no. I have general anxiety and panic disorder. When I took acid, I had a panic attack from L. No real comment on that, but I do personally feel like if in the right setting, it could have helped you, if that makes sense. But I'll leave that alone. If you do psychs recklessly, you're gambling with your mental health, just saying. I can agree with that. I definitely agree. If you're doing it recklessly and you're not respecting it the way that you need to, then it definitely can turn your brain basically into soup, and you get really confused about a whole lot of things, you know. Let's see. Sup, nude? Noob, how's everything, mate? I said nude. Demonetized. Sup, nude? Had my wife's watching. I wasn't asking, babe. I just typo. Verbal typo. How's everything going? Everything's going great, man. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm working full time right now, which kind of sucks, but I mean, that's being a grown up, you know. Been streaming and doing this stuff, you know, live stream and YouTube and everything. I've been trying to catch up on video games and playing Reach on the PC as well as RuneScape. Let's see. So, are you allowed to leave the country being a felon? No. No, I'm not. Certain places I can go because I don't have a drug conviction, but like I can't go to Canada, for example. Canada doesn't take American convicted felons. No, like YouTube moderators. I do have a few, but they're apparently not online right now. Howdy, how you doing, Dark Dog? Good to see you. You ever pull off any scams in RuneScape, just in theory? I mean, not like in old school as the official version of the game, but I mean, like when I was a youngster, yeah. Nothing ever too huge. I used to tell people follow me in the days before the Wilderness Ditch, and I'd just walk up there and kill them. My little brother was more into that. One time he scammed a Santa hat from somebody when they were like 19 mil, and I was like, damn, he's a beast, man. He told this kid this long story about how he needed it for a screenshot for a best costume competition, and this poor kid gave him a Santa hat, and Noah kicked him out of the house and logged out. Kept it. It's like 19 mil. Will I ever be able to leave? I'm not entirely sure. Probably not permanently, but I could probably go on vacation someday. We'll see. I'll get the felony off my record one day. We'll see what happens. How'd you meet your wife? We're making a video about that tonight. So all I'll tell you is that I met her at the mall here, or not here, but in Tupelo, Mississippi, next town over when I was at the halfway house the first time. But we're gonna make a video on that tonight, so please stay tuned. And it should be up tomorrow at the latest. If I pull a really late night, it might be up tonight at like the wee hours in the morning. It just depends on how the editing goes. Let's see. Hey, there's plenty of pretty places right here anyway, all sorts of weather. That's a good point. Very true. This is a beautiful country geographically, that's for sure. I'd be down to be one if you would be down. Maybe after a couple more streams, but all the guys that I have as mods are people that I know in real life, so I'm not sure. Do I accept account donations? Do you mean to YouTube? Yeah, man. I mean, hey, I got a baby on the way. I'll take whatever I can get, you know. So I'm busting my ass at a job where I have to be really, really super physical. What's up, Golden Botter? I hope your name is not true as it pertains to RuneScape. I hope that you're not a botter. Did you have any culture shock when you came out, dude? Are you kidding me? It's like, I mean, hell yeah. I mean, I I can't think of anything that's the same. I mean, even the slang is different. People laugh at the slang that I use now. Like I call people beasts, and they're like, "We don't say that anymore, bro. You say he's lit, roasting, unsalted, fam bay." I don't. I can't keep up with anything, man. This computer that I'm on right now is like a supercomputer back in 2012. This thing is ridiculous, you know. I used to bot, not anymore though. The name came from botting on a private server. Ooh, so you didn't affect the main game. Good enough. I don't care if you bought on a private server. Have at it, buddy. Dalton says, "Well, I tried." LOL. Hey, that's all you can do is try, bud. Right? All right, give me 1 second, fellas. I hope that I put on enough. Hope I put on enough super glue for this to not be excruciatingly painful. Lit unroasted Pam Bay. Okay, maybe that was a slight exaggeration, but not by much for me, as far as I'm concerned. You know. So you were telling me people don't play Modern Warfare 2 anymore? That's probably the one. I think that is the one that was out when I got arrested. Or maybe it was Black Ops. I don't know. I was never a huge Call of Duty guy. It was just a fun thing to play with my friends, like when we were smoking pot or whatever, you know. But I wasn't really like a maniac for it. Okay, I don't think I put on enough glue. I hope I don't have to put on another layer. What's up, Black? I'm good to see you again, man. He said that's a very loud shirt. I mean, being the Union Jack. Got my main ban for botting minnows, but it was only for 6 months. When I logged back on in, I still got my fishing pet and 20 mil. Never botting again though. That is the only success story I've ever heard from man. They specifically banned you for 6 months? I've never heard of that. That's weird. Yes, Oz, as you said, asked in the last stream, yes, I am indeed still alive. I'm definitely out here making it and cutting it. God, my hair looks so stupid on that side, man. Still playing RuneScape? Yes, I am, man. You guys are going to see this before the stream says it, I think, but here's my RSN. I only play old school, so let's see here. My brother, how's it going, man? Yeah, they do temp bans now if it was an automated ban. Oh, okay. Could you please come to Tommy C to congratulations for 40K? Tommy C's got 40K? 40K subscribers, is that what you're talking about? What do you want me to do? Just hop in there and tell him congrats? I'll shoot him a message on Twitter in a minute. I'm not very good at navigating like between stuff on the web. I'm not very good at oh shit, look, see, I just accidentally did a click on my extra mouse button and backed out, so, let's see. That's awesome, though. I was just talking to him like the day before yesterday. I'm coming on the show sometime soon. Let's see. Country prison sentence is a blessing as it forces you from being hedonistic near your 20s. Now that you're out/free, don't fall victim to hedonism, porn, food, drugs, etc. I'm not going to say that it kept me free from it. I mean, there's all that stuff in prison, too, you know. But I agree. It definitely, I do try to steer clear of all that now. I mean, obviously I don't try to steer clear of food. I try to eat slightly healthier though. Not as healthy as my wife would probably like though. Being an addict can be a lifetime prison addiction. That is a very accurate observation. I'm gonna have to agree with it. Definitely can be. I'm a casual, plays RuneScape mobile. That's good, Blackham. Join the Tan CC if you want to. I'm in there all the time. Contact after prison show. I don't really know how to get in touch with him, but we talked about it, you know. Tell him your story. Yeah, I'm going on 23-1. I talked to him. We emailed some short emails this morning, and I'm looking forward to that. The G is full of gambling bots. Have you seen them? Of course I've seen them. I've been playing on mobile for 6 solid months. And 55x original odds are back. Minimum 100K bet. Watch out for imposters. Yeah, I mean, it goes along with the same thing as spending 2.147 bill and they show you like 2 mil worth of platinum tokens, you know, or gifting 3 twisted bows. First 3 people to search this would be will get 20 bill. Search on YouTube, follow the fishing link. Oh, that was a cool chord. Hi, that's cool. I don't think I've ever done it before. Let me see if my Discord server is still in my copy. It looks like it is. Give it a shot. Tell me if that works. If not, I'll get another one real quick. Would you ever go back to prison as a visitor to meet up with friends you made? That's not allowed, but yeah, I would go to visitation if I could. I definitely would. Um, I would go see him. I'm gonna write some letters soon, man. I've actually been slacking on that, and I really need to. Sing a song about being in prison. I got one I wrote. Nah, man, my brother's up here playing video games, or they might be trying to sleep. I didn't think about that when I started the stream, man. Now I'm up here playing guitar. Do you get hero's hair when you're in the wind, when you stood in the wind? I don't know what hero's hair is, but it goes everywhere whenever I do that. What did you do to pass time in prison? I played guitar for like 7 hours a day. You can't tell now because all my calluses are gone. But I played guitar and studied music theory a lot. Learned all my exotic scales. Did all my exotic scales when I was in there and learned a whole bunch of theory to help me with my musicianship. Nah, I'm at work and Tanner sleeps like a rock. Okay. What's up, Tyler? I didn't think about that before I started screaming and slamming on the guitar, man. I'm sorry about that. Jam out, alright, cool. Tanner sleeps like a rock, that's good to know. Very brave to keep that haircut in the 2020s. No bravery required, man. It's just what I feel comfortable with, you know. I might get a cut before too terribly long, but it's not going to be a 2020 cut, I'll tell you that much. You looked into flat earth. I mean, I've looked into it as far as, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I've looked into it as far as like how ridiculous that is, to be perfectly honest with you. But I can't believe that's a thing, man. I can't believe that I go to prison for a couple of years and come out and people believe the earth is flat. I'm sorry, man. It's completely absurd. That is utterly absurd. I mean, I've gone in just like a regular airplane with Con Air when they put all the prisoners on the plane, and I mean, it's. I'm not trying to offend anybody or lose a bunch of subscribers about it, man. Good grief. How did the other inmates first react to you when you arrived at the prison? I came in and gave them my paperwork. Well, actually, it came in the mail like a week later, so I just told them what it was about, and they were skeptical because most young, skinny white guys with glasses and the feds are in there for dirty stuff, and they get beat up and have to go somewhere else. So I just told them what really was going on, and a week later, 2 weeks later, I got my direct appeal information. I had my whole case, and then they thought it was hilarious. They were like, "This dude went to prison for talking shit on a video game," and they all, you know, "Oh, my son does that. I'd be telling him to stop that." But I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I was a domestic terrorist on paper. They just thought it was really funny. So looks like you kept the same haircut from when you got locked up. Pretty much did. Yeah, to say the least. Did they let you play guitar in there, or did you learn music theory without playing? Thank the Lord, man. Every single spot that I went to had guitars to check out. Not jail, but prison, actual prison. We even had band rooms. We had guitars and drums and stuff. Even if they had really crappy setups, I was still really grateful for it. So I studied highly advanced music theory books for years, and I played for hours and hours a day, man. I mean, like I said, you can't tell now, but for a while there, I'm out of practice now. It'd take me a while to get back at it, but I used to be really good, I promise. Gotta let me have a game in Chomo, exactly. Any plans to go traveling or something like that? I mean, I would love to, but at least for the next year and a half, that's going to be highly restricted. I'm not allowed to leave the Northern District of Mississippi as of right now. Was there a big racial divide where you were pinned up? I mean, there's always a racial divide in there. Yeah, absolutely. Every single spot is like that. I mean, everybody clicks together. It's human nature, you know, to just click up and gang up and whatever you want to call it. But yeah, definitely, no doubt about it. It seems like with white dudes, for some reason, the number one thing that they like to do whenever they finally get alone and there's no black dudes around is sit there and talk shit about black dudes, like really, really loud, nonstop, and just like feed off of each other with it, which always made me really uncomfortable. People are going to say that they're going to think I'm just saying that because I'm on stream or whatever, but that's honestly how I am. And then they sit there and look you dead in the eyes like they're waiting on you to just be like, "Yeah, man, I know, right? I'm stupid, but yeah." And that's just not how I am in the slightest. And I don't know, it always made me uncomfortable. I mean, obviously I wasn't Aryan or Aryan Brotherhood or anything like that, the ones that are white supremacist gangs and all that. Guess they just get bored and want to have something to focus on. That is a very astute observation, to say the least, man. I think that's right, yes. Yep. It's like I said last time, there's two ways to go crazy. Go crazy in your head, remembering all the places you messed up, or you can go crazy getting involved in the bullshit around you. But you're gonna go crazy one way or the other. How did you survive in prison? I drank water and ate food. I'm just kidding, man. I mean, I just stayed out of the way. I kept my head down, and you know, I didn't try to mess with anybody. I didn't try to join any gangs. I just kind of stayed out of the way and played my guitar. And the first time around, I, you know, got high or drunk a lot, to be honest with you, and that was about it. You know, I just didn't really mess with too many people. I didn't start any crap. I didn't talk any nonsense or anything. Just tried to keep my head down a little bit. What would you say to someone who is your age of imprisonment may control online school shooting threats in the game? Would you feel they deserve prison? If they had any actual evidence of intent to carry it out, then yeah, most certainly. I mean, look at Nicholas Cruz, the guy from Parkland. He said it on the internet like 30 times. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's not a threat, you know, if that makes sense. Doesn't mean that they should just be acquitted of it and it shouldn't be investigated. It should definitely be investigated. I never meant to imply that it shouldn't be investigated. Rip stream, there it goes. Maybe. Maybe. My timer's frozen on the phone. Back up. All right. Okay, there it goes. Never mind. We're good. Let's see. Any crazy stories? Man, I got a ridiculous amount of crazy stories. I'm not sure how many of them I'll be allowed to tell on here, to be honest. But yeah, I'll try to think of something that's at least somewhat middle ground, I guess. Did the drugs and hoop help the time go by the first sentence? That was all that I was about the first time, man. I mean, to a large extent. Not entirely, but yeah. It definitely did. That's a really good way to pass your time, is kind of being junked out, you know what I mean? If they didn't have any physical proof of intent, I mean, probably some probation. I'm not going to say that you should get away with scot-free, because I think that a lot of times it's indicative of something bigger going on. Like in my case, I was depressed, I was strung out on drugs and alcohol. My whole life was like really in shambles, and I could have used it like a backbone, if that makes sense. Prison was just complete overkill. But I'm not going to say that some counseling and some probation probably would have done me well, but a little more compassion in the approach would have done wonders. You know, I could have learned my lesson without it taking such a long, drawn out, intense, dangerous time to learn it. But they weren't about compassion. The feds aren't about compassion, especially not in the South. Especially not in the South. Nobody in a position of power in the South is about compassion at all. They're about politics and you know, how they look and can they get reelected, and if you're not this white and male and, you know, stunning job and all this, then you're a degenerate and a garbage piece of society. No, there was no compassion at all. They didn't consider anything other than this guy said it, he deserves to fry. You guys start up a series doing some RuneScape with prison stories? Yeah, I probably would. Did I use a Fifi? No, I did not use a Fifi. Favorite YouTubers? I mean, I guess that depends if you're talking about like RuneScape or just in general. I really like Mark Rober. I think he's fascinating. Steve Terryberry, a lot of the music related ones. Rob Scallon, Steve Terryberry, you know, I like those guys. Jared Dines is pretty cool. K-Mac, the guitar guys. I love watching Vine compilations. I totally love Vine compilations. And then I got a whole list of RuneScape ones that are my favorites. It's pretty much all the standard ones, you know, Torvesta and a friend and all those. Let's see, Davey 504, I do love Davey 504, but unfortunately I'm playing a 6-string bass right now, so I don't think he would approve. He would not approve. You should get one of those little wall outlet internet adapters you can run an Ethernet cable into. I have one that's much more stable than wireless. I do have one. I'm actually using it right now. However, we got a lot of people who live here, and we all use the internet, and it's raining, and it just kind of gets spotty at times, man. It's all good. I mean, it can game smoothly 99% of the time, but it just, not to mention, I think it has something to do with the fact that it's a Wi-Fi connected to my phone. I'm just running it straight from my phone. Great answer, Josh. Cheers. The system is completely flawed. Yeah, man, like I said, man, I think that the biggest part about it is compassion. And that's what's really lacking in the justice system, is compassion. It's this total us versus you mentality where nobody's trying to relate to anybody at all, and I do believe that it would, I think it could go a long way if people would just try as much as they can to see things from someone else's perspective. Is prison like high school? You'd be surprised. That's pretty funny that you say that, because it kind of is. As far as the cliques and the who thinks they're cool and all that, it's just a little bit more violent, I guess. No, spooky. I mean, in some ways it is. I can see some parallels, you know. I can see some parallels to it, which is interesting because I had not really considered it that way. Although I feel like I kind of made a joke about it once. Maybe I was just singing High School Never Ends by Bowling for Soup, though. I'm not sure. How are you planning to catch up on all the stuff you missed, like movie shows and games? Do you have like a list or something? I kind of wing it. I watched the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things, which I really enjoyed. I watched a few episodes of Messiah the other day. I thought that was really good, but I haven't finished it. It just depends on what I'm doing on RuneScape mostly. I got to get Netflix on this computer. I have it on my phone on my mom's account right now. But when I get it on here, then I'll do AFK stuff on RuneScape and just, watch whatever. I need to finish Stranger Things for real, but now I feel like I've forgotten some of it and shit. But you ever watch the Austin Powers series? All right, I see it. Yeah, I looked at my camera. All right, yeah, you're funny. You got jokes, huh? Yeah, baby, very, yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah, you got good jokes, buddy. What was your favorite prison food? No such thing. My favorite prison food was ramen noodles. Fuck, man, I don't know. What would you do if you were homeless tomorrow? Man, I have no idea. I'd go start walking towards my job, and sleep outside at the factory so that I could at least make that money, I'd be nasty coming into work, but as long as I'm able-bodied in there. Let's see. I think any institution will develop a social bubble that would kind of give off the same feel. I think that's a reasonable analysis of that. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. It's just kind of human nature. It's just human nature. You put a bunch of people that have like a lot of different demographics, and they're gonna separate, and they're gonna have their own rules. They're gonna have their own hierarchy, and they're gonna click up, and they're gonna divide. I mean, just like high school. It's just human nature, man, to reach towards the familiar, I guess. What are your top 5 favorite bands? Nirvana, Metallica from 1991 and back, Blink-182, The Beatles, Alice in Chains. That's my top 5 right there. When you got out, what was the first thing you did? The first time I ate some sushi, the second time I tackled my wife. I didn't literally tackle her. Do you miss MySpace at skateboarding, Josh? No, but I did recover it like 4 days ago. Bro, don't judge me, man. I was 12 years old when I made that MySpace, all right? My wife never had MySpace. She's 22. That made me feel so old. She was like, I never had a MySpace. You got to be kidding me, man. You didn't have MySpace? How did you not have MySpace? It was the Facebook before Facebook. Good grief. Right, even joking. I just watched all 3 a week ago and was blown away that I hadn't watched it. I thought you were saying I looked like Austin Powers, especially with my Union Jack shirt on, Let's see. Did you ever get picked on in there? Not really, no. The thing about it is that I hate to say this, man, because it's gonna just sound so arrogant. I'm not an aggressive guy at all. I'm really laid back, but particularly in my younger years, I fought all the time. I'm not scared of fighting. The worst thing that's gonna happen is somebody's gonna whoop my ass, And the thing about it is, if somebody tries to give you shit, you just gotta fight them. It really doesn't matter if you win or lose. My first time around, I got pretty lucky, and I had one that was a pretty close match. A ladybug just flew through here. And the rest of the times I came out on top. But this last time at the low security, I did lose a few of the fights that I got in. There's no doubt about that. In fact, I got a janked up elbow now from hitting the ground. Not because they threw me down, because we went down. Because when somebody's losing a fight, grapple up and try to get them off balance. But I'm a little bit over. I'm over it, But no, people didn't really pick on me, man. I was too laid back, and I was never in the bullshit to really, be picked on. I was just kind of, keep it light, keep it joking, and then I went to band practice. And when people would see me play guitar, they have a lot of respect for it. They'd say, "Oh, that's why he's not a gangbanger. He's not one of them dudes. He's just a guitar guy. He's just a music guy." Now that you're out, imagine eating ramen. LOL. I still like ramen. I never got tired of it before, so I don't know. Or the political views of most prisoners. Was Trump supported? Draw a line straight down the middle, bro. That's how you do that. I think I met 2, maybe 3 people white guys, that did not support Trump out of the thousands that I met, and 0 black guys. So, that being said, I'm not a political channel. I have no comment on that really, but I'm just telling you, yeah, basically, you could just pretty much draw a line between black and white, kind of like it is in the South here anyways. I'm 20 and I had a MySpace. Well, that's good to hear, Evan. I'm glad, man. That's wholesome. You must have been like, oh, good grief, what, like 4, 5 years old when you have it? Oh, Jesse Kendall comes back again. Good grief. Let's see. You deserve what happened to you. Honestly, these kids online think they can say whatever they want with no repercussion. I never said that there shouldn't be a repercussion, Jesse. That's not what I implied whatsoever. You actually missed the whole part where I was talking about that. I certainly think that there should have been consequences. My entire point is that 6 years was overkill, that they went entirely too far because of ulterior motives. Nobody deserves 6 years in prison for that, dude. If you think that, then you're completely unhinged and you're just a hateful old bastard that needs to leave your house every now and then. That's completely absurd, dude. For a 19-year-old to go to prison for making a sarcastic threat that took place on a Saturday with multiple mental evaluations and said that I wasn't going to do it, when teachers from the school wrote letters to the judge and said they knew I wouldn't do it. If you really think I deserve 6 years in prison, bro, you are a horrible person. Absolutely terrible. You're probably just miserable as hell and just sit on your couch all day watching a very hateful news show and being scared of the world, dude. That's absolutely absurd. Absolutely trucked my wife. Could never do that through the glass. Yeah, I mean, I ran and just about tackled mine, man. I thought I knocked the breath out of her. I mean, now that you pointed out, I can't deny the interpretation. Right, yeah, yeah. Sorry if you read this and decided not to answer. Read this, but have you watched or read Harry Potter? You must, man. You kidding me? Have you not? You must have not watched my videos yet. I read the Harry Potter series start to finish like 14 times or something like that. At least 10 times, first book to last book. Absolutely. Sorry for shaking my hair. It gets in my eyes and it bothers me. Cut it then. If you train jiu-jitsu, you probably win every prison fight without weapons. Yeah, I did a little karate and kung fu whenever I was a younger, man, but all that probably went out the window by the time that I got there. That was when I was a good deal younger. I guess it helped me in high school because I won most of the fights that I got in, but nobody ever used a weapon on me, by the way, and I didn't use weapons. That wasn't my style. And also, I knocked guys down before and I stopped. A lot of guys in prison don't do that. If they punch somebody and they fall down, they start stomping on their neck or their head or kicking them on the side of the head or whatever. That's not how I am at all. When you prove your point, then I think that a real man can say, okay, that's it. You know, we're done. It just depends on what they do, I guess. I mean, if they're making a joke about having sex with kids or something like that, then I guess keep stomping on them. But personally, when my point's proven, then I would stop. That's trying to have honor in prison is very difficult. Let's see, no sharp knives, by the way. There's no knives allowed at all. I never even got a hold of a plastic knife whenever I was in there, to be honest. Nothing at all. I mean, they make knives. Don't get me wrong. They make them out of everything they can possibly find. Pieces of gate. I saw a dude make a knife out of a styrofoam cup. He melted it and folded it and melted it and folded it, kind of like a blacksmith would do, you know, forging. And that thing was sharp, dude. He could cut a piece of paper just by barely touching it, you know. So you don't get knives, of course, but that doesn't stop people from getting knives. If that makes any sense. Any habits in prison that you still have now? Is my wife watching? Karis, you want to tell them some habits that you think are weird that I have? She's apparently, or maybe there's a lag. Yeah, I still have a habit of never taking my shoes off unless I'm getting in bed. That's the only time I take my shoes off. I spit in the toilet when I brush my teeth, which I personally think is really smart. Karis thinks that's so weird. I don't like taking showers barefoot. I still haven't gotten used to it. I do it. I mean, it's not like I think anybody here is gross or anything. It's just like, I don't know. It's just ingrained in my mind now. Because the phrase in prison is that if you take a shower barefoot, then your toes are going to be throwing up gang signs in an hour. So I'm not. It feels funny, even though like logically I know that the shower is clean and we're all taking barefoot showers and nobody has any damn foot fungus. Still freaks me out though. There's apparently slang that I use that I'm not sure is prison slang. Somebody pointed that out there. I actually work with a guy, Richard, at my job, obviously at my job, and he used to be a CO. He's a really nice guy. I get along with him really well. And he plays RuneScape, but he mostly plays RuneScape 3, so I guess he's okay. Anyways, he was laughing at something I said the other day. I don't even remember. Oh, I said he let me make it. I know that a lot of that stuff is both, you know, but at the same time, he said he'd only heard inmates say it. Because, like, if you should get in trouble for something, but somebody lets you go, an inmate will say, yeah, man, he let me make it. And he thought it was really funny that I said that. Since it's hyper stigmatized there, not that it shouldn't be. Not sure exactly what you meant there. Let's see, I could probably scroll up on it. Oh, you're talking about, like, being the cliques and stuff like that? Let's see, any genius inmates who were baffled ended up there? No. There was never anybody where I was just baffled. There were cases where, no, there was a guy that peed on a post office and got a federal crime because it's a post office, so he was in federal prison. He got like a 6-month sentence for like public indecency or public drunk or something insane like that. They considered me and him to be the two most absurd cases that anybody had ever seen in the feds, as far as they knew. Audiobooks with Jim Dale online. His voice acting is so good. I might look into that because I don't want to go too terribly long without listening to some Harry Potter. You know. Let's see. You still looking for someone to fuck? No, I am not. I'm married. Thank you though, Caleb. Looks like you lost some weight since you were last released. You look healthier. Yeah, thanks, man. To be perfectly honest, when I was making most of the videos the first time I was out, I was definitely I was on a bender, to be honest. I was drinking constantly, and when I'm on a bender, I bloat up really bad. So you can look at my other videos, you can see my pores are sweating alcohol out, and my face is real bloated and red. You know, I was drinking just like nonstop. Even if I wasn't even necessarily drunk in the video, the physical effects hung over, no pun intended. And it's just, anybody that knows me well knows whenever I've been on a little bit of a binge, you know. I'm laughing, that's horrible. We don't have a great justice system in Belgium, but America's just bonkers. Yeah, I know, right? America's definitely bonkers in a whole lot of ways. Just don't want to tune. Damn it. We heard about inmates playing old school RuneScape mobile stake. I don't believe it, personally. William B says, hey sexy, what's up William? Good to see you. No, I haven't seen the Aaron Hernandez documentary. Yeah, I think that whole RuneScape staking thing, I think that's fake, to be honest with you. I think that guy got trolled. I can't remember. It was either Chrome or Colinello, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. The last prison that I just went to, everybody had a damn phone. I mean, there were like 70 phones in that room. And nobody had heard of RuneScape. Nobody's worried about RuneScape, dude. They don't give a damn. I think he got trolled. I don't think that was true at all. In my whole 7 years in the federal prison system, I met 2 people that ever even heard of RuneScape. They're not going to sit there and grind out the damn 99 attack, strength, and defense so that they can hypothetically gamble with gold. No, I don't believe that whatsoever. And I got to say that whoever did that interview with Chrome or Colinello, whichever it was, forgive my immodesty here. Torvesta, Sean. Forgive my immodesty here, but I've probably done more time than whoever told him that bullshit, so I don't think so. I don't believe that at all. I haven't seen the Aaron Hernandez documentary. I was reading about that case when it was locked up, you know. Let's see. The rest were framed. Definitely Torvesta. I love Frame too, though. But Torvesta, man, that's the Ted Bundy of RuneScape. Torvesta, bad, man. I used to be friends with him. He took me off my friends list when I went back to prison. I guess he did a cleanup or something. Top 5 books you read while making your prison your sanctuary. I'm also glad to see that you're doing great. You remember that quote that I said? I read a spiritual book that was like not specific to one kind of religion or anything. It was called We're All Doing Time by Bo Lazoff. That was an amazing book. It really opened a door on a lot of spirituality for me, you know. Return to Wilderness still scams kids with no consequences. I thought his account got banned or something. I looked for him the other day and I couldn't find him. So let me see. Top 5, man, that's a big list. Yeah, I'd have to say We're All Doing Time was amazing. I read a book about Buddhism that later led to my having an even bigger, more important spiritual experience, which I was an atheist for 12 years. I was mostly Buddhist for the last 5 of those 12. I'm no longer an atheist, but the big doorway on my path back from that was Concise History, or The Story of Buddhism, a concise guide to its history and teachings by Donald S. Lopez Senior, I think. Let's see. Man, 5 would be hard to pick. At the time, I really enjoyed an autobiography of Malcolm X. That was a really good book at the time. I probably wouldn't read it again now, but I read it, I think, 3 times during my term of incarceration. And other than that, let's just go with Harry Potter series and Game of Thrones series, which is really a Song of Ice and Fire, but everybody calls it Game of Thrones. So, videos of you talking about your sobriety partners is quite disheartening, man, if you're on a drug and alcohol bender. Especially since you were receiving donations too. Why did you lie to everyone? For a period of it, I was sober, but at one point, I just I got so many messages from people telling me that they were, inspired by my sobriety and stuff like that, man. I hate to say this, it's gonna sound really stupid, but I kind of felt pressured after a certain period of time. After I relapsed, I felt a little bit pressured, and I felt like a lot of people were kind of depending on me. I know that sounds really stupid when I'm just a YouTube RuneScape prison guy, you know? But at the same time, I was really inspired by those messages, and I was trying to get it together. And like in my first video, I said that I've been regularly attending meetings, and I had been, and the sobriety was there. And I don't think it was until like maybe my 3rd video in. I mean, I was still a little bit fatter when I got out, but in the later videos, I think the last 2 videos, I was in the middle of a binge, so I'm sorry that I lied, man, but I didn't want to let everybody down. Just in case if one single person was telling the truth, like, man, if you can stay sober, I can stay sober. I just didn't think it was worth the risk. At the time that I got all the donations for the GoFundMe and stuff like that, I was stone cold sober. I was still practicing sobriety. Let's see. Atheist to theist is an uncommon change. I wholeheartedly agree, Evan. To my knowledge, I'm the only person that I've ever met that came back from it. I don't think I've ever met another one, because I was completely unopen to I was totally shut off from the idea of any kind of a creator. And I had an experience in December of 2018 that this is, I suppose, not the time or the place to discuss. I'm not a political or religious channel, but I did have an experience that was totally outside the bounds of what we would call science, and I accepted it for what it was. So, Buddhism was kind of my gateway to that, believe it or not. I know that probably sounds weird to a lot of people, but did I meditate in prison and do I meditate now? I did meditate a very good deal. I did transcendental meditation, and I still remember the first time that I actually shut my mind down. I was like, oh my God, I did it. I thought I'd been doing it until I actually did it, and I was like, oh, that's how I did it. I don't really meditate now. Maybe I kind of do, but I guess in a different form, but not like I did. No, not really. Let's see. Stopped believing when I was 9, so I don't think my brain would ever let me go back. I can tell you this much, dude. 12 solid years, I was an aggressive atheist. I was one of those guys that, like, it's just so extra about it, which is just, like, I just don't understand that motive, to be honest. I mean, not the whole time I wasn't like that, but, like, one of those kind of things where somebody says, comments on YouTube, and somebody's like, I hope he's in heaven now, and some salty atheist is like, LOL, there is no heaven. Like, I just don't understand the motive there. Like, oh, thanks, bro. I didn't know that. I never considered that might be wrong. I appreciate you enlightening everybody. We all think you're really smart. I mean, like, I was one of those guys, so. But the only difference is that I had personal proof, you know. I had an experience that is indescribable. So I had something happen to me that most people won't have, and that's unfortunate in my opinion, but it is what it is. So looking at the Fibonacci sequence, this realm was designed by something. I'm with you. I feel you. What's that thing called? Oh, I was thinking of a Mandelbrot set. Never mind. Can you describe the experience? You don't have to, obviously. I don't really think this is the time or the place, man. I'm thinking about making another YouTube channel to talk more about that, because I'm sure that there will be some type of people that are interested in that, and I do feel like I have a lot to say on the topic, having been an atheist. I mean, okay, I will do this much, just to show that I'm not kidding around about how atheist I was. Look at this. I got the worst Albert Einstein ever tattooed on my leg, and also a Charles Darwin fish. Look at that. It's a Jesus fish, but with legs on it. You see that? That was me making fun of Jesus. That was me making fun of God. It's a walking Jesus fish, you know what I mean? And now look, got a cross on my neck. So, like, let me tell you, bro, I came 180 degrees. I promise you. I came a very, very long way. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. It just depends on whether or not the experience happens. But if you don't want it, and you don't, if you're not open to it at all, it won't happen. I didn't think I was open to it, but I spent a long time. I mean, I've read the Torah, which is just the 5 books of the Old Testament. I read the Quran. I read Hindu scriptures. I mean, I spent a long time trying to find something spiritual, and just was lacking. And then all of a sudden, it happened to me in December of 2018, and best thing that's ever happened to me. I now celebrated 1 year of sobriety yesterday, because I did still continue a little bit. I had a relapse shortly after that. Honestly, let's see. Yeah, I'm with you, man. We should all respect each other's personal beliefs and convictions. One thing about it is that nobody's going to change anybody's mind, so arguing about it really just doesn't even, it's pointless. All it's going to do is cause animosity. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. It's just going to make discord between us, so why even discuss it, Sex, religion, and politics are 3 things that you should not base your opinion of someone else on. Period, Let's see. Evan, that's a very logical way of looking at it. There's no scientific way, from a scientific standpoint, there's no way to prove or disprove that God exists. That's the fact of the matter. It's the nature of the beast. If you could scientifically prove that he was real, that would kind of defeat the purpose of faith and free will, if you think about that. But anyways, what games do I play at the moment? I play old school RuneScape. I've been playing a little bit of Halo Reach on PC. I downloaded World of Warcraft, but I didn't have Classic. I'm waiting on some money to come. This guy actually sent me $15 to get a WoW subscription so I can play Classic for a month. So I'm gonna do that as soon as it comes in. I'll play Classic. I play some retro games. I was playing Classic Doom yesterday, but my main game is still. Oh, I've also played Overwatch. I don't think I said Overwatch. My brother-in-law's gave me an account. I haven't played it in like 2 days now, but because it's just crazy, man. I can't. It's hard for me to learn to play it. But I play I play a lot of stuff, I dabble around, but RuneScape is my main game. Old school RuneScape is my favorite one. Let's see. Yeah, because right now I'm literally just like that. There's no room for budging as of right now, but if something could prove anything, I'd be open to accepting it. Good, man. I will say this much, and I always thought that this was a cliche that was not true, but seek and ye shall receive. Trust me. I have a whole, dude, in one split second in December of 2018, my entire view of the universe changed in a split second. I'm not kidding you. But I will say this much, man. I have this on my neck, but also, and this is going to probably trigger some people, and then I'm going to leave this topic alone. just so everybody here doesn't make judgments and assumptions about what this means or what it can be or what all of us are like. And it's going to be triggering to some people that are believers. I believe in evolution. I believe in the Big Bang. I don't see how those two contradict with God at all unless somebody's taking a passage in a scripture somewhere very, very literally. The way that I see it is that a higher power has to cover his tracks, or else free will and faith are completely pointless. I just look at it as the glory of God. So you can probably tell by just the way that I speak in general that I was a pretty aggressive atheist kind of guy. But I don't think that any of that stuff disproves God whatsoever. I don't think that they're contradictory in the slightest, unless you're taking something completely literally that was written during a time where less was known and more to the point metaphors and parables were oftentimes used. Now that being said, I'll go ahead and leave that alone, but I wish everybody the best on it. What does God mean? I guess that's up to personal interpretation. Risky, sorry that I cannot participate in streams. Got off work at 9 p.m. last night and I'm working today. Oh, it's okay, Chase, man. Don't worry about it, bud. Thanks for stopping in. If you don't have time, it's no big deal, dude. You consider gaming on Twitch when you get Classic WoW set up. I've been gaming on Twitch a little bit. I think I'm gonna do a Twitch stream tonight. So I don't know if this will actually link to it or not. I spelled that wrong. Good grief! I got the super glue on my fingers. I think that'll work. Oh great! It didn't hyperlink. You gotta be kidding me. Anybody that's not following, can somebody go there and see if this is working and click follow while you're at it? Yeah, I'll probably do it in Twitch. I don't know if I'll be doing WoW on Twitch. I'm too lame at it, Asmongold's gonna be stealing all the views. So let's see. How has prison life affected you? Has it challenged you for the better, or has it made you more cynical? Changed you for the better. I think I said challenged. At first it made me more cynical, and now it has undoubtedly changed me for the better. I have so much more compassion now, man. I really try in all aspects to see other people's things. Like, that really happened to me after my spiritual experience. I try to really imagine what it would be like to be somebody else, and that really affects my everyday interactions with other people. Like, it stops me from getting short-tempered with people for no real good reason, because I don't know what it's like to be anybody else. I've just been me forever, and I don't ever know what anybody else is going through or what they've been on, what's happened to them today. For all I know, some dude's mom just got in a car wreck and he's really stressed out and he's being short with me at the grocery store, and then I catch an attitude with him. No, I just try to give everybody their respect, and unless it's really negatively impacting me, I just give them politeness, I hope your day's going good, man. I hope it ain't easy for anybody, man. Life breaks everybody, as the old phrase says. So, but yeah, I would say that it impacted me in a positive way, honestly. Overall, it affected me in a majorly positive way, Holbrook MA, or Holbrook Ma, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, says, hi Josh, hello, good to see you. Sorry I'm messing with this. I was kind of hoping that I could kind of get guitar in here as well. You ever hear about Nick Yaris? He was on death row for murder he didn't commit, and his story was inspiring. He was on Joe Rogan and Death Ward checking out. Nick Yaris, huh? No, I haven't heard of him. I was a big fan of the West Memphis 3 during their entire period of incarceration. I got this panned way too far to the side. Is that better? That's probably a little bit better. Yo, Josh, what's up? How you doing? Reza Red. I'm sorry, man. I'm so bad at pronouncing people's names. I'm doing good, man. I'm just hanging out. Been doing a live stream for a little over an hour now. I'm gonna probably get off and take a little break here in a little bit, and then I'll get on Twitch. I don't know what I'm gonna stream, but I think I'm gonna do a Twitch stream here soon. I'm just trying. I get nervous about what times that I do it because I have to keep my average viewers above like 4, so that I can get to like affiliate soon. So like if nobody's on, I just want to turn it off quick because right now I'm at like 6 average viewers, so I gotta keep my viewers up. Classic WoW as opposed to new WoW. That's, for one thing, it's what all my friends play, but for another, in general, I like the more toned down version of games, the ones that didn't get carried away and lose their whole foundation and what they were and where they came from when they started. Have I tried VR yet? Earl, didn't you ask that question the other day? Yes, the first time that I came up to this house when I met my now in-laws, which were then just like my semi-girlfriend's family, my brother-in-law Tyler actually busted out the virtual reality and blew my mind. It's the only time that I've tried it, but he made me feel really welcoming, man. The whole family was really cool, especially considering that I'm, on paper, a pretty bad person, convicted felon, domestic terrorist, high school dropout, recovering drug addict, But he dragged his computer all the way out of his room and set it up and showed it to me. It was a really cool time. I have really, it's a really good memory. And I have not, okay, somebody else asked it then. Sorry, Earl. Yeah, I did try it. I tried that game where like when you move, it speeds up, but if you're frozen, it's kind of going really slow and you shoot everything, you know? If you get VR, hook me up. I play VR every night. Tyler's still in here. He said, yeah, it was dope. Yeah, see, he's the one that did it. Ty Boyd is the one that's my brother-in-law. I should go on Joe Rogan. Somebody figures out how to get me on there. I would love to. I love the JRE, man. It's one of the best damn podcasts out there. I'm going on 23-1 before too terribly long. I might do a talk with him tomorrow. I don't know when he'll do the video or whatever, you know. Ty Boy says, I'll let you borrow my VR if you want. That might be a good idea, Tyler, for real. I don't even know like about multiplayer games and stuff on there though. I noticed they have Doom VR on Steam. Have you bought any VR games from Steam? Because I kind of want to check that out and have nightmares for the rest of my life. I watched that video where that girl you used to know talked about how you were a psychopath or something like that. You used to talk about doing things in school. What's the story behind that? That girl got blackmailed by the FBI. She threw the first strike here. So I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about it, but she got blackmailed by the FBI. And you'll notice that she actually didn't say, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that she said that I intended to be violent in the school. I don't think. I think she said that, no, she did say something like that. She was real dodgy about it, man. She was real selective in her language. And to be honest with you, the main part of that is that that girl totally lost her mind after high school. I'm pretty sure that she's coming to all my streams and videos and hitting dislike. I keep consistently getting like 2 dislikes, and I'm probably gonna have 3 this time for that guy that jumped in here earlier and randomly said, you deserved it. But I think that's 2 of my ex-girlfriends, and she's one of them. And I think she's just trying to get her 15 minutes of fame, you know what I mean? Look, my wife's in here laughing. I think she's just getting her little 15 minutes, you know? She was hoping it was going to be a big phenomenon. You notice she took a little picture for her circle, for her avatar. She put a little squinty-eyed picture and was like, I'm Meredith Brown. And like just, I commented, you can see my comment, man. I said, this isn't the way to get attention. Just tell people the truth. If she comes out with the whole story, man, it's not up to me to tell the whole story, dude, but she knows why she lied. She did it. And yeah, you saw the comment. She knows why she did it. Sean Chavez, good grief, y'all gonna blow her up with views, man. Just type in Josh Blau, man. It'll be one of the top ones if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, don't give her any more attention. If you want to see it that bad, look at it, you know. Look at it yourself, man. I don't really care to fuel her fire, you know. I'll just say this much, man. That girl's had a messed up life. I've never been her before. She got very, very far out there, and I think that she's just kind of grasping for meaning. She's grasping for meaning, and that's about it, you know. She's trying to be relevant and get a cut of my pie, so. I think you're acting like an adult. Thank you, man. I mean, I'm not really here to throw shade or anything. I understand what happened, and I'm not mad at her in the slightest. I'm not mad or upset with her. I wish that she would have done things differently, but I haven't been in her position, you know. I kind of have. The feds have threatened me too, but they actually sent me away, you know. Baby girl, you sitting down there in your room? Sorry to use my stream to talk to my wife, y'all. I stream with my phone, so I can't text, obviously. You better be getting ready to film this video here in a little while. Why did that sound so bad? Oh, there it goes. I have a funny feeling like everybody's trying to find that now. Ever watch the NFL? Nah. Only sport I've really cared much for is like skateboarding, man. I'm not against football or whatever, it's just not interesting to me, it just doesn't hold my attention. Did you play any chess in prison? Not really, dude. I'm terrible at chess. Like, I know how the pieces move, but there's a big difference between knowing how to play chess and knowing how to play chess. So I wasn't even fun for the guys in there that, like, play it all day and take it really seriously. Your wife seems like a very strong gal for staying by your side through all the terrible things you went through. Man, she's amazing, dude. I didn't even know that a human being like her could exist, to be honest with you. She's the reason I'm sober. She's the reason I'm here today. She's the reason I have a beautiful baby girl on the way. Let's see. Well, I need to keep my eyes on the road. Have a great day, Josh. Thank you, Risky. Have a good day, Chase, man. Who dat? You were raised better than that. What are you talking about, Mom? First off, Mom, why did you just come on my stream and embarrass me in front of 30 people? Who dat? You were raised better than that. Did I just hear somebody laugh? I think maybe my mother-in-law just gave a shout of laughter for me talking to my mom. This is crazy, y'all. Having a bunch of my in-laws and all my family in here. Let's see. What did I say that made you say that I was raised better than that? What are you talking about, Mom? Okay, anime is gay. Did you ever feel suicidal in prison? Good to see you again, Mr. He Who Shall Not Be Named. Yes, I did, but I made my mind up very early that I was not Oh, you were raised better than that because I said I don't care about football. I should have got that whenever you said who dat said them Saints gonna lose. Mom, please don't start a firestorm in here right now. I'm banning my own mom. Well, I get grounded if I ban my mom. Yeah, I made my mind up really early on. I mean, this is gonna come out over time in more of my videos, man, as I open up to people because I feel like with my story, I have an opportunity to help people a lot that have gone through tough times. But yeah, I knew it. I knew Pam was laughing. That's my mother-in-law. But I was actually suicidal for a really long time. Not, I mean, before prison even. Um, I had this really weird thing for the like for the 27 Club, if you know what that is. This will come out more over time throughout my videos, man. But I made up my mind really early on that no matter how bad it got, I was gonna survive through prison because I didn't want the feds to win. Yes, clubs, threats on RuneScape, transmitting threats to destroy buildings by means of fire and explosives. Um, this is probably tough for like my mom to watch or whatever. But hey, Sammy, how's it going? But to be honest, yeah, I did have some pretty serious suicidal ideations for a pretty long time. And I decided that I was absolutely under no circumstances going to cave. I was not going to give in to the feds. And yeah, it is pretty lame, man. But it wasn't something that I had resolved exactly. You know, I hadn't just like made up my mind that I was never going to do it. I just wasn't going to do it while I was in prison. That was like my number one goal. So, yeah, I definitely did, man. I was towing the line, but at the same time, I knew that, I mean, I can only imagine, this is going to sound terrible, man, but the prosecutors probably would have been really happy if I would have committed suicide in prison. I don't think they'd have felt guilty at all. They'd have just said, job well done, we did our job, we removed him, we got rid of him off the streets, and I just didn't want to give them that satisfaction. But now, I never knew if I'd be able to say this throughout my whole life, but now I'm 100% positive that I will not die by my own hand. I'm very, very happy in life right now. I have a beautiful, amazing wife, you know. I got a baby on the way. I got sobriety, man. I got spirituality, just like everything. I have everything that I never thought that I would. I have everything that I never thought that I would. That grammar, what did I make? There won't be anything. There won't be anything. There won't be almost anything in life that can tear you down anymore. That grammar. How did I go through and make it better, man? I tried to focus on the positives. You know, there were touching moments of humanity in there. I remember one time out on the softball field. I used to sit outside the softball field gate and play guitar while they were playing games of softball, not baseball. We had to play softball. And this like dove or something. There's a bird that got stuck in the razor wire around the baseball field. It really cracked me up that they had razor wire around the baseball field because the baseball field was inside of the gate of the prison. So like even if you climbed over, you couldn't go anywhere. But I guess they just didn't want anybody being able to get up there. But and this bird got stuck in the razor wire, man. All these Hispanic dudes, like, I mean, like, just ran over there as soon as it got stuck and started flapping. One of them was like, La paloma, la pinche paloma, way, la pinche paloma. And they ran over there and just, like, huddled up into this huge human pyramid. They just jumped into this human pyramid and started climbing all up the gate and stuff like that. And the guards even let them, the guards were kind of ran over when they saw the pile of people going up the gate, you know, but then they stopped when they realized what was going on. And this little short Mexican, they call him El Corto, which is the short or the shorty, you know, got to the top and he just like gingerly reached up, man, and he peeled apart the razor wire and he let the little bird's wing out and then it flew straight off and everybody started cheering. And it was just like, just little stuff like that really helped me mentally, man, you know, to know that in even the most hardcore acting dudes, there's still this touch of humanity kind of, I guess, you know. But it really moved me. It was stuff like that. I remember talking to a dude that had been locked up for like 32 years since he was 17 years old for manslaughter. He got really drunk and got in a fight with these dudes and he threw a tomahawk. He hit one guy with a tomahawk and he ended up dying. And then he threw a tomahawk at the next guy and he died too. And I know that sounds terrible, but you'd be surprised. It's ho-hum when you're in prison. But he used to go out every single night that we were allowed to go out. And he said that he just watched the sunset. Sorry, he just said he would just go out there and watch the sunset every day. He'd go sit on the picnic tables and like, yeah, he's Native American. He lived on a Native American reservation, spooky. And tomahawk. I don't think that's what you meant to say. He just kind of would sit on the bleachers, you know, and watch the sunset go down. And let me tell you that federal prison in Alabama had beautiful sunsets. It had an amazing sky, and there were some little tiny, what we call mountains down here, but you know, it's not like the Rockies or nothing. But you know, it was a really pretty location for them to box you into a cage you into a box in the cage, whatever. So I mean, stuff like that, man. I also focused on music. Like, I mean, I wrote 166 songs while I was in. Studied music theory, read like 900 books or something like that. I mean, just like I read so many books that I remember having read them and I don't remember anything about the plot because I just piled them in. But you're right, Sammy. After that experience, you know, I feel like I can make it through a lot. I feel like I'll be able to make it through pretty much anything that comes my way. if I can make it through that, especially, you know, with my spirituality that I have now that I never thought that I would have, as well as my wife, my daughter on the way, got family support. I'm actually acting right. I'm not scared of anything anymore, man, you know. Dude, that's so nice. Yeah, man, I mean, even in my most miserable state, man, I've always had this kind of core inside of me that was me not wanting to, I don't want to give up or anything, you know? Like, I mean, the number one thing in my life is just, there were times where I felt like I wanted to. There were even times that I thought I wanted to. But you just don't give up, man. You don't give up. Everything will pass, man. This is life. The earth is going to keep rotating, spinning. Oh, sorry. I guess some people disagree with that. But life goes on, you know? Life goes on. Time's going to keep on ticking. This too shall pass is basically what I kept telling myself. I want to get that tattooed on me somewhere. This too shall pass. Because it's true, man. Time is an insatiable monster. It will eat every second. I promise you. You're going through some shit you're not having fun with. Keep on trucking, man. It might seem like it lasts a long time. One day it's just going to be a bad memory, you know? Keep it up, your inspiration. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that, man. Do you make any close friends inside? Do you have many positive memories? I made some of the best friends I've ever had in there, to be perfectly honest. I remember when I first got to jail, this guy said, listen, man, you ain't got no friends. Ain't nobody trying to be your friend in jail. Ain't no friends in here. You got your homies, you got people you fuck with, but ain't nobody your friend. And I remember being like, man, that's kind of, I already know that's not true because I have the capacity to be somebody's friend. If somebody wants to be my friend, you know, I'll be friends. So if I'm willing to be real friends with somebody, there have to be other people like that. And there's a big difference, in my opinion, between friendship and like clicking up and hanging with people because you're cool or you know, we're both white guys from Alabama or whatever, you know, there's a big difference. Prison taught me about friendship because whereas my whole life, it had always been kind of, before prison, it had always been kind of shallow interactions. I mean, you feel like they're deep, you know, you have a good late night conversation with your friend every now and then, or you know, we played Halo and smoked a bunch of pot together, or like the bonding that comes with the drug abuse lifestyle. It's just crazy how close you feel with somebody when in reality you know nothing about them. It's just funny. You like their sense of humor and you enjoy the same drugs and they're strung out too, so you like love hanging out with them. But what do you know about like, you know, your friend needing somebody to talk to because his wife just sent divorce papers, or he found out that she's seeing another guy and that she's trying to convince their son that he's the new dad, you know, like, or what do you do when a guy, you know, his parents just both suddenly died and he's in prison and he can't go to the funeral and just like out of nowhere, just no more, your parents are gone, sorry, that's it. Chaplain comes to your door and says, hey, bad news, your family died, bye, you know, I mean, like that's where I really learned about friendship. Friendship is man, it's just a whole different beast than I ever thought it was, man. Friendship really got me through it. There were people in there that just being alongside them made my time easier. It made my time better. And I really learned about friendship, and I believe that friendship is a form of love. And I know that a lot of guys in here are going to say that's super not masculine, but I think the love pretty much makes the world go around, man. It's such an amazing, powerful force, and it can get you through anything. Hope and love and friendship and kindness, man, will really overcome anything, even in the face of living in a concrete hell, when you even living in the concrete jungle, you know. Put this too shall pass on your merch. On my merch, I don't have any merch yet, but that's not a bad idea though, man. I gotta say, not a bad idea at all. But I do have a lot of positive memories. You'd be surprised, man. Definitely, especially in the band room. Spent hours with my old drummer Garfield, my bass player Alan, man, my friend Josh. I mean, we just a lot of laughs, man. A lot of good times. I mean, you got to make the best out of the situation. You know, we hunkered down and we got through it together. I made some really good, solid, amazing friends that I knew had my back through anything. And it wasn't because we were in a clique or from the same area. It was because we were friends and we cared about each other and we really wanted the best for each other, you know. And a lot of people don't fathom that, or they think that I'm lying, or they think that, you know, oh, we were just there out of necessity. But that's not the case at all, man. I truly, truly care about a lot of those guys, you know. Physics says time isn't constant. Yeah, well, until the big crunch starts happening, it all starts going in reverse. And I mean, yeah, gravity stretches it. But from our perspective, at this point, time is always going on, buddy. You read any of Eckhart Tolle's books? I Power of Now and New Earth, fantastic books. No, I don't think so. I believe I've heard about them though. Evan, he says he has people inside Jagex keeping his account safe. What in the world? What if our way of measuring time equally in seconds is wrong, and that's why sometimes it feels like time is moving slower or faster because it doesn't move at a constant rate like we think? I don't believe that it is perfectly constant. I mean, it's all about perception, really. I mean, we measure it. I mean, if you think about it, an atomic clock's not going to be wrong. I mean, it's measuring like the vibrations of how long it takes an atom to get from here to here. One of the protons or whatever to travel from here to here. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember what I read about those, but I mean that's pretty constant in my opinion. But I mean it's all about perception. But at the same time, if going by Einstein's theory of relativity, if you're standing next to a black hole, you can watch the Earth explode and bloom and cool off in a matter of seconds because of the massive gravity. I mean, time is definitely relative, you know. Yes, Evan, but what I meant to imply was that our place in the space-time continuum is relatively consistent, you know, as far as our orbit around the sun goes anyways. It's not like we're getting close to a black hole a little bit and then about farther away from it. If you never went to prison, you would probably never met your wife. Butterfly Effect. Reza Red. You got it. You nailed it on the head, buddy. I wouldn't have had a spiritual experience. I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have had a baby on the way. I wouldn't have this much time sobriety. No, it was a reason, bro. It was a reason. It was a long, hard path, man, but I wouldn't change it if I had the choice, I promise you. What books on music theory did you read in prison? I started with The Complete Idiot's Guide to Music Theory. But at that point, I learned so much from other musician inmates that my mom mailed it to me, and I think I learned like 2 things from it, and then I was really disappointed. Oh man, I can't even remember. The Guitar Cookbook was really good. My mom sent me one on Master Theory Composing, which is almost like too advanced for me at that point in time. I probably still would be. Am I heterosexual? Ask my wife. What do you think about shrooms? I think that to an able-minded person that is open-minded as well and has some type of intelligence and can gain something from it, I think they can be a very beneficial experience for your life. I personally don't need that anymore. I don't need psychedelics anymore to get the kind of spiritual fulfillment that I once sought, even though I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. What was my spiritual experience? I don't really think that this is necessarily the channel or like the time and the place for it, man, but I did have an experience that changed my entire life after 12 years of not believing in God. So I had something happen to me that I couldn't explain, but was kind of explained for me. And I know that I can tell you this much: when I was a diehard atheist, if somebody else would have told me what happened to me from their perspective, I would have called them schizophrenic and completely I wouldn't have believed them at all. So I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of pointless. The only people that will believe what I say are the ones that don't need to believe what I say. Does that make any sense? You know, everybody else is going to say, no, that's complete nonsense. You had a hallucination, you were high, you were drunk, you were schizophrenic, even though I've had all the mental evaluations. So like, I mean, I don't really see it as being, I don't really see it as being necessary for me to go over here. I've considered starting another YouTube channel to talk about that because I feel like there is some things that I can contribute to that. My hair looks so mullety, guys, I'm sorry. Let's see. But overall, I'll just say you can take a look at the necklace that I'm wearing. I never thought that I'd wear one. I've got an exact opposite of this cross tattooed on my leg that I wanted to get covered up for a while, but now I see it's just part of my story. Oh, I just now noticed you can see where I got hit in the face with a piece of wood at work the other day right there. What do you usually do in prison and what kind of stuff could you do in there? Most people just sit there and watch TV all day, but we also had MP3 players, which is pretty cool. It was like $1.55 for a song, but they did have a lot of songs on there. Thankfully, they had Blink-182, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, all the good ones. They only had one Beatles album, it was a live one, but I bought it. I personally played guitar. Most people gamble, drink, or drug. The first time that I was in prison, I did get fairly involved in drugs. I was always kind of trying to earn money to keep that going because I didn't like spending any money that I got from my family on it. So I was like constantly in a state of like typing emails for people or typing legal motions for people on a computer and editing them. Or I completely proofread and edited an entire urban novel that this guy wrote in there for like 2 stamps a page. Stamps is on money in there. So, but my main thing was to read books and play guitar and music theory. Study music theory. Have you seen the new Steve Vai PIA guitar? No, I have not, actually. If you're gonna fight in jail, then more than I can count, my friend, unfortunately. I'm so over it. So I got that big nasty scar across the back of my hand from a guy's tooth. I'm so over violence, man. I don't care if I ever get in a fight again. I'm just doing it if I need to from now on, man. I'm no more ego about it. It's got to be something pretty serious now to get me that fired up, dude. I'm so over it. You'd be surprised. Could it possibly been a little mental thing that happened once? I don't know, whatever. No, not at all. Trust me. I'm telling you, I promise you, I wondered for a short period of time whether or not I was losing my mind. Trust me. I've been there, I've done that, and it was real. And whenever I talked to a certain group of people about it, because I was so confused and like lost about it, come in. They all knew that it was real too. Trust me. They were like, "Yeah, that was it." Is it locked? Huh. I was like, "I don't think I have a lock." What are you doing, babe? What you rolling to the door? I don't know what that was. What are you doing right now? Thank you. Appreciate it. You just noticed that, huh? She don't want to be on the stream, but I left this whenever I took a shower last night. I left this on the bathroom counter because I noticed that the drain in the shower doesn't have a net on it. Okay, sorry guys. What's up, gamer? How's it gaming? It's gaming well, man. It's gaming well. I'm XP wasting right now, you know, but got to keep in touch with the friends that are subscribed to me. Can you survive in jail without fighting or teaming up with a group or gang? Survive, yeah. I mean, technically, it's just going to really impact your quality of life. You know, the thing about it is, if you're scared to fight, you're going to get victimized. Oliver Cromwell did nothing wrong. I don't know who that is, so nobody take that as an endorsement on my part. But good to see you getting back home. Good luck with your life. I really appreciate that, Oliver. Thanks for swinging in, man. If people notice that you're scared to fight, you're gonna have a really rough time. What happens if someone calls you punk in prison? You punch them right in the mouth. You come punch them dead in the mouth. That is what you do if somebody calls you that. Let's see. Can you survive in jail without fighting your team up? Is the question. If somebody calls you a bitch or a punk or something like that, and you don't immediately punch them, whether you lose or win, you're about to have a hard time. They're going to start taking your food. They're going to start trying to take your commissary. They're going to start trying to blackmail you and extort you. You can't be scared to fight. That's the thing. They don't care if you win or lose. You might punch a dude in the mouth and then he turns around and just beats the brakes off of you, but they're going to respect you for trying. That's the number one thing is he scared? If they know you won't fight, then they can do anything to you. You know what I mean? That's the way that they see it. So, survive? Technically, yeah, I would say so. Let's see. How many tattoos do you have? Did you get them all while you're incarcerated? If you count my pelvis piece as one, I think I have like 20 or 21. And yes, I did get all of them while I was incarcerated. I've never gotten a street tattoo. Almost every single tattoo I have was done with a staple. That was sharpened down on some concrete, disinfected, and then poked one little dot at a time, thousands and thousands of times. But I think I have 20 if you count my pelvis piece as one. And a lot of them I did myself. I should have worn shorts so I could show you some of the ones that I did. But I can't pull my pants down on stream to show you. That's not in a bad location. The ones that I would show you are on my upper thigh, but to access them from here, I would have to like pull my pants down. And I just don't think that's a good idea whatsoever. I'm not sure what state you're living now, but I'd love to hang and play some guitar one of these days. I stay in Mississippi, man. I stay in the Northern District of Mississippi. I'm not technically allowed to leave there. Are there a lot of readers in prison? I would spend a lot of my time reading books of the Bible. Would people bother you for doing that? Nah, man, you can read and stay out of the way. I read I think I read roughly 900 books. The last time that I counted, it was in the several hundreds. I knew that I was forgetting like dozens. Are there a lot of readers in prison? Yeah, I mean, especially the guys that read the Bible, man. People segregate based on not only spiritual belief, but you know, just kind of the way that they're doing their sentence. If you want to be one of the guys that reads, man, nobody really bothers you, you know. Did I read War and Peace? I think I did, yeah. I don't think it was Confucius. It was it Confucius? Let me see. Is there any soap picker in there? I didn't have any group showers any places where I went. Wait, was I an atheist restarted? Yes, I was. I mean, technically, I guess that the proper term would be agnostic because my stance was that you can neither prove nor disprove God through science. That's the point of there being this whole entire situation, is that if you could prove he was real with science, then there's no faith, therefore there's no free will to practice faith, to choose to follow him or not. But I did not personally believe in God. I was a Buddhist. I was a non-theist Buddhist. Because I had never had a personal encounter or experience that I considered adequate for me to like logically deduce that he was real. So I said, until I have an experience, I wouldn't down people for it, you know. What is my opinion now? My opinion, I can't believe I'm saying these words. My opinion is not an opinion. My opinion is the truth. Everybody thinks that though, but man, my in-laws prayed for me, man. They prayed for me a lot, because just 3 weeks before I had my experience, my mother-in-law, who's in the stream right now, she and I had a pretty big argument because she was not happy about the fact that I was an atheist. And she said that she had prayed like every day for her daughter to marry a Christian man. We were engaged. And I said, if you prayed every day for her to marry a Christian man, then I'm not the one for her, because I'm never going to be a Christian. I don't believe in God. That's never going to be me. So I'm sorry. You can ask her about it, man. I was really, really blunt. I told him point blank, if you really think she needs to marry a Christian, then I guess the wedding's off, because I'm, but she said, she showed patience, and she did what a truly spiritual person does, and she gave me my chance. And like 2 or 3 weeks after that is whenever I was sitting on my bed in prison crying my eyes out and threw my hands up and proclaimed that there was a God. And I mean, it was a mystical experience, man. It was a by-the-book standard, very consistent experience. I mean, like if you read Korn's book, the guy from Korn, Brian Head Welch, he sent me that book. It's one of the most important books I've ever read now. He had a very similar experience to mine. I mean, extremely similar in very, very, very many ways. Like, I mean, just dead on the money, just about exactly what happened to me. And my whole life got together, man. I saw through everything. I just suddenly was like, why have I been messing around with these just drugs and different girls? And like, I just felt, oh man. I'm trying to kind of leave this alone, man. I mean, my view count has been going steadily down the longer that we talk about this, you know what I'm saying? But I will just say this much, man, that the Holy Spirit is definitely real, and I can't believe, bro, if you could take this footage back in time and show me when I was 17, I would have called it totally fake. But the Holy Spirit's real, man. I had an encounter with it, and after all those years of my life of saying I'll believe it when I see it, I had my personal proof, and I'll never stray from it again. Everything that I thought I knew about the universe just totally shifted in 1 second, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me, hands down. It made me fully appreciate my wife and my in-laws and my own family. It made me gave me understanding and compassion for all other people, and just totally just. Sorry, you don't have to say sorry. I mean, I didn't really like describe it in depth, man. I'm just keeping it kind of vague, because I'm not going to change anybody's mind, and they're not going to change my mind, and I just feel like it would be, do nothing but cause animosity, essentially. If I were to just go into all this detail, most people would probably just think I was crazy. But I will tell you that I had an encounter with the Holy Spirit. It hit me like a hammer in the back of the head. I never really knew about the Holy Spirit, or was even really aware of it. I knew that they say it, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I knew that they say that, but I had never really contemplated the entity of the Holy Spirit itself. And it came into me, and it's a holy fire, all right. I'll tell you, man. Every hair in my body stood on end, man, and I realized that I was in the presence of God, and that was a God that I didn't believe in. I didn't believe in him, man. And on this cross right here, man, I'll tell you, I swear in his name right now to you that I did not believe. I did not believe, and I had that profound of an experience to where by the end of that, I was crying on my prison rack and threw my arms up in the air, and I proclaimed Jesus as God. All right, so it's hard for me not to get into it, because it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm very happy about it. I'll tell you another thing that I will say, man. When I was an atheist, I thought that I was just so liberated, and I thought I was so logical, and I thought that I was so free from all social conventions, man. But the Bible says that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberation. And let me tell you, man, that is the absolute truth, because this world just doesn't have the same hold on you anymore, man. It's just the flesh doesn't defeat the spirit anymore whenever that happens to you, Thoughts on Ouija boards? Don't mess with them, buddy. You can if you want to, I guess, but I personally wouldn't mess with them. I didn't believe in Ouija boards either, man, but like I said, my whole view of the universe had to change. Everything that I thought I knew changed in an instant, and I realized there's a whole lot more than I ever could have guessed going on here, and humans are a very, very low, scummy life form compared to the other things that are going on. What's up, Josh? It's Cody. Which Cody? My cousin Cody? Or like Cody McCoy, or I'm really curious about that. Roadblock, yeah, Cody McCoy. What's up, buddy? Oh, damn, bro, I didn't mean to say your name on stream. Yo, he's famous, follow him, check it out. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sorry about that, bro. I didn't mean to call you out like that. I should have said Roadblock. I definitely should have said Roadblock. You're kind of RuneScape famous anyways, man. A lot of people know who you are anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, right? Hey. Thanks for coming in, man. We just been sitting here shooting the shit. I've been meaning to kind of play guitar, and I haven't been playing guitar at all. Here's one. Where'd my capo go? Should we do one for the wifey? Actually, don't worry. I don't blame you at all, buddy. I was the exact same way. Makes sense, you know? In my opinion, it makes sense to be a skeptic, but some people are blessed from the time that they're a little kid and they never have any doubts at all, and I was not one of those people. When it happened to me, it happened in perfect timing, just enough for me to understand the power of what was going on, the favor that God was doing for my in-laws by granting their prayers and showing them His power, you know what I mean? It was all perfect. His time, not mine. Seek and you shall receive, I can say that much. Sing about God? I don't think I know any songs about God, to be honest. I haven't learned any yet. Yeah, I don't think I know any. I like your little happy face cares. With the nice username there, Jesus will reign. I have to say, man, to be honest with you, the creator aspect of it, in my opinion, was the hardest part to believe, because I viewed the universe as this huge, expansive thing, you know. For me, man, other spiritual ways were really the pathway into it. Like, I mean, Buddhism, for example, was really good for me. The neutrality aspect of it, and you know, I still have a lot of inspiration from it. And it you know, Buddhism is older than Christianity. But the whole, like, living your life in a way that you're not harming anyone and that things come back to haunt you or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing the Bible calls reap what you sow. It predates Christianity, and I don't necessarily think that it's an inaccurate spirituality. It's just kind of irrelevant now because then Jesus came. You know what I'm saying? Earl Wolf, that seems to be pretty true, because what I can say is that I looked for him pretty hard for a while, but I just sort of gave up. I'd given up. Jesus will reign. Who said the Big Bang was random? I don't think it was random at all, personally. He's got to give us an explanation, man. He covers his tracks. If you don't want to believe in him, you don't have to. Here's all the explanation you need. It doesn't mean he didn't do it. Am I a fan of Mac Miller? I knew like 2 Mac Miller songs, man. So I mean, I can't say exactly fan, but what I've heard from him, I did like. You know, I always like it. I was alright with him though. Naturalistic process is unaided by God. An interesting concept, but I personally don't believe that anything is unaided necessarily. I have the same haircut, but I think you pulled it off better. Thanks, man. Better doesn't mean I pulled it off good though, right? It just means better. I think I'm probably about to wrap it up here in a minute, guys. I'm gonna eat some food, drink me some more Mountain Dew. Did I own a guitar inside? I didn't own one, but you can rent one on the Rec Yard. I'm gonna probably do a Twitch stream here in a little while. I'm not positive about that, so don't quote me on it. But if you guys would follow me on Twitch, I would really appreciate it. You know what I mean? Thank you, Recise. I appreciate that, man. You too. I hope you have a blessed day as well. Do skinny people struggle more in jail? I wouldn't say not. I wouldn't say necessarily, no. It just depends on whether or not you're scared. Oh, I said twitch.com earlier to the .tv, didn't I? I bet that was a problem. Let's see. Still doesn't hyperlink for some reason. Damn it. Oh well. How's it going, Janet? I'm probably just about to wrap it up now. I've been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes now. Damn near 2 hours. So I'm probably about to wrap it up. It's going to take this video forever to process on YouTube, and it's only going to get a few views because it's so long. But I'm going to film and edit a video tonight. I'm sorry, Janet. I apologize. I'm going to be Twitch streaming in a little while, though, I think. I'm not sure what game I'll do. Probably a little Halo Reach or maybe some RuneScape. We'll see, you know. Oh, thank you, Tyler. See? Real good to have modern brother-in-laws that know what's going on. Okay, what's up, Dylan? I can't promise that I'm going to Twitch stream. I'm 99% sure that I will. But also, we're going to be making a video tonight, all right? Me and my wife are probably going to film it here in a minute, and then I'll edit it later on tonight and post it tomorrow. And it's about the story of me and my wife, which is a damn good one in my opinion, personally. But, do you PUBG? I never have played PUBG, no. So I will actually have a real, true video at the latest tomorrow. So please, guys, stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to me, please give me a subscribe, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to get affiliate, and I have to keep my average view count up, so if you guys could follow me and turn on the notifications and stuff, it'll be basically just like this, except for I'll be getting my ass kicked on a video game at the same time, you know, and no guitar, clearly. But I really appreciate it. This has been a really good session. This has been one of the better ones in my opinion, you know. But I really appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope that y'all have an absolutely blessed day. Thank you for asking so many great questions, and several of you guys have been here a lot, and I know you pretty well, and I'm really appreciating the kind of the community and the back and forth that we're having. Oh, hey, also, let me see if the paste is still there. Yes. Somebody check that for me real quick, please, and let me know if it's working. I'm not positive that it's still working, but I believe it will be. Yeah, it worked. Okay, thank you. Excellent. Anybody can join the Discord if you want. Y'all feel free to pop in. I'm in there all the time. I mean, I keep it open on my second stream, except for whenever I'm working, obviously. But all right, excellent. Well, you guys feel free to join the Discord server, please. Follow me on Twitch if you get the chance. You know, I'll probably be streaming here soon. And you guys made it another great stream, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful night. Twitch stream later, possibly another YouTube tomorrow, but definitely a video. So stay tuned for the video. Much love, you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. And in.